Good morning, fiber magicians. Well, my foray into going live on YouTube was short-lived because I don't qualify to do that. So it's a it's a work in progress. Like I said, it won't stop us though. We can record this and play it back as many times as we want. Let's get started. God and Goddess, Lord and Lady, see me through this day. Keep me on my path. Help me on my way. So mote it be. All right. Well, today I'd like to talk about circles. If you want to start making poppets and things of magical nature, any kind of dolls, really, and toys, you really have to master crocheting a circle. And there's a little math involved, a little geometry, which makes it even more fun. Okay? Now, if you know anything about circles, as they get larger and the circumference increases with the diameter, let's see how that translates into crocheting a circle. All right. See this little squishapuss? There's a stress ball inside there. Makes it fun. But he starts out as a circle, see? And he spirals out. This is in half double crochets. Same thing is true with Mr. Poppet here. You start with a circle right on top of his head and it spirals out. He's made of single crochet stitches. It's up to you whether you use single crochet or half double crochet. Half double crochet, works up faster, but you have a little more control over the shaping with single crochet. And most amigurumi patterns that you find will be in single crochet stitches. All right. So let's get started. First, we got to make our slip knot, of course. That's the very first thing we always do. And you know what's always a good idea? When you're crocheting, especially if it's going to be a magical nature, to relieve some of the stress of the day. Leave it behind so none of that negativity gets into your work. And I do that by starting with a little chain, and I chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the number of my goddess Minerva. And as I make it, I let all that stress of the day, all that negativity enter into this little chain. And then when I take my needle out and I hold it on both ends, I imagine that poof, it disappears. All right. Now we have only positive feelings going into our work, and that's very important. So you want this poppet to be useful. All right. So whether you're using single crochet or half double crochet stitches, you start out with chaining 2. All right. And then you put all the stitches that you're going to start with right in that second chain from the hook. So I'll use single crochet and I will use 6. Okay. Now the number 6, I've assigned the attribute of insight. So maybe you're going to use this little poppet in a way that you need some insight. Okay, what do we have? 6, 2, 4, 6. Right. Now, we're not going to slip stitch and close this circle. We're going to work in a spiral. And of course, the next ring around, The circumference is going to be twice that of what it is right now. So we're going to put 2 single crochet stitches into every stitch. So when we come around again, we'll have 12 stitches in our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've put 2 single crochet stitches into each stitch around, and now your little circle is twice the size. But it needs to be bigger yet. And we need to start keeping track of the rounds, because we could lose count and then we would be in bad shape. So you use a stitch marker. And the easiest stitch marker there is, show you, is just to grab a little piece of yarn like this. Okay? It's a little piece of yarn. And just where you stopped at that 12 stitch, just lay it over there. Just lay it over your work like that. That's going to keep your place. You're going to go around until you find that piece of yarn again. Easy. And then you can just pull it out and put it on the next round. So your third round is going to be wider still, but not twice as wide. If you kept adding 2 stitches to each stitch around, you'd end up with a ruffle, right? And if you continued to do that, you would end up with a bath puff, you know, or something that looked like a coral, which is a good project. But for our purposes, we want a nice flat circle so far. So we're going to put 2 single crochet stitches into this first stitch, see, but then only 1 in the next. There you go. 2, and then 1. See how? So it's increasing, but not to the extent that we did the first round. And this is the basics of crocheting a circle. You can make this circle as large as you want. You can cover a round table with a cloth this way by just increasing, but increasing in a consistent way. So now look, we're around again to the thread. Pull that thread out and lay it on top of your work again, so you can go around again, and this time you do 2, right, and then you do a single crochet in the next 2, increase, and then single crochet in the next 2. And you're going to go all the way around like that, and then the next round, third, after every 3 stitches, then 4 stitches. And it's good to vary it up a little bit, you know, so like if you're up to row 8, you might do 4 singles, increase, and then 8, increase, 8, increase, 8, increase. When you get all the way around, you do your last 4. This way you don't get points. If you continue to increase in the same place, you're going to get a hexagon if you started with 6, or an octagon if you started with 8. These are choices that you can make for sure. But once your circle is as big as you want to be, then you stop increasing and it will cup up like a head, say, or a hat. And that's how you start doing your shaping. Increase, decrease, increase, decrease. See that? I'd like to see what you come up with from this information. I'd like to see pictures of your work, and you can put them on Instagram at Fiber Magic Crochet and use the hashtag Fiber Magic with a K. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and share the friends that are crafty. We'll see you next week. Have a crafty weekend. Merry meet, merry part, and merry end.